Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. What's good? What's good? It's a good day to stream. Happy Friday, everyone. This is our cover photo today. Hello, Tony. We have a fresh meme hot off of the press. In the morning, we got Xi Jinping looking at cakes. It's a good photo to stream us into the weekend. My favorite part is this. Dude is trying to hold his laughter. Dude, the direct view of the cake, man. I'm sorry I can't find a HD photo of this, but I found it hilarious. There's a lot of different ones too. There's like these sweet rolls that looks like those sticky rice things. I don't know what they're called, but it's a Middle Eastern and Chinese dessert. We got all kinds of different little dessert there. We got some bananas. Is that bananas or is that something else? She's favorite pastime. It's the it's the honey bear diet. You guys can see I hung up my Winnie the Pooh costume in the background. A perfect fitting way to start the stream. But anyways, let's talk about Menglong today. We're gonna the major topic for the stream today is Menglong because there's some new stuff coming out with Yu. I cannot find my mouse. Oh, okay. Why is it doing that? So now if I go to any like new articles on Menglong, this video pops up. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, so as we continue to speak out, we have to address something important about this case with Menglong. Now, so clearly it's still rocking the world in terms of what's happening. And there's this new video that has come out to light. What's going on in China with this new virus? Are you talking about the chikungunya virus or something new? New virus in China? Are you still talking about the chikungunya or the H9N2? But anyways, we will talk about that soon. So first, let's talk about this video. Okay, so this video is being claimed as happening on the night that you passed away, which is the 11th of September. But the problem with this video is there's literally zero evidence to suggest that this is not pieced together, right? Like, first of all, the building, there's no way you can tell if this is the building that you stayed at or not. And the audio, like, again, it's like it could be anybody, you know. So we have to be very careful. As much as we want to find out about the truth of what's going on here, we still have to be very cautious, because a lot of these information or videos that come out, I don't talk about them because I don't think they're real. Simply because how would you know, like, how would you know that guy is Menglong, or how would you know those girls were referring to him? But people are claiming that this is somehow him and two female fans or somebody who was trying to help him. So you have articles like this saying that 3 women who witnessed the incident have mysteriously disappeared, suspected of being arrested by police and mysteriously silenced. Do you get paid to diss China? No. I wish I was getting paid to diss China though. That'd be a good income, you know? But anyways, so with regards to this kind of stuff, it's not the first time this has happened. In fact, one of our recent streams, we covered this, Remember these photos here? So this was photos of Yu in when he was a child. This is the mother, the Yu, and this was posted onto thread, right? And then this person claimed that they're family friends of Yu's family, but the problem with this one is that since then he hasn't posted anything. So this is literally his only post on the entire account. And after posting this, which by the way, I already questioned it in our last stream. I was saying how, you know, he could have gotten these photos from Yu Menglong's phone after he passed away. So the source of these photos could be very bad. And the details in which we got, while they do confirm some of the stuff that we've been talking about, it doesn't really drive anything new. It's not moving the goalpost. So what this whole letter was basically saying is just reiterating or regurgitating information that we already know. And since then, he has not come out to make another post, and it really makes me question because a lot of these posts that people are spreading around, it just seems like they're trying to deliberately mess with the information out there. So I personally think we shouldn't trust these. Like just a lot of things are quite suspicious. Hey everybody, welcome. I don't know. What do you guys think, chat? Like, are you the type of person who trusts everything that you see, or do you prefer to kind of, analyze it a little bit? I'm kind of in 50-50 where I'll believe it until, oh no, sorry, I won't believe it until I see some definitive or concrete evidence to back it up. Right? So I think it's a good approach. Good afternoon to you, Muso, from South Africa. Nice, nice. We're still on Yu Menglong, yes. From Fuiv says confirm the information page. On the page, make sure it's correct before proceeding. Initiator, one email address can only sign once. Oh, are you talking about the signature page? Yeah, you should take everything with a grain of salt. Yeah, there's a lot of AI stuff, right? The only video which I trust is the one that where you hear him scream. That guy actually sounds like it was real. Okay, but take a look at this video. So this is another one of those claims where they're saying that the museum 798 was burnt down, right? This is a lot of people's claim or belief that this had happened. The that the museum where a lot of the bad stuff had happened had burned down. But this is the museum. Like, it didn't burn down. It's still up there. So that's why it's like the narratives. It's insane, right? Same thing with stuff like this. Where is it? This type of stuff. So there's people claiming that this actress is the next victim after Yu Menglong, the same type of treatment as Yu Menglong, or that this man here, this another TV star, is actually he's dead or he disappeared, according to a British medium. So I guess these people are like they talk to spirits. He claimed, this person named Ty William claimed that the TV star had passed away, the same way that Yu Menglong has. And here's what happened: he came back out on the 5th, which is 2 days ago, being alive. So that's why I'm like, all those supernatural stuff about the sacrificial pact or the rituals and all those things, yes, they're real, but I don't think they're happening on this guy. Call me pessimistic, but I think the issue with Yu Menglong's case is that it's over. So anything that we try to talk about right now is simply we're filling in the details on what had already happened, right? And it's really sad because we're trying to make sense of what happened. Will I ever return to China? Probably not when the CCP is still in power. Is the Museum of Corpse real? So the whole plastination thing is real. Whether or not the museum is real, I think it really there's no way to tell. But the whole plastination, like the whole body world thing, that's real. It's the place. The place isn't the museum. It's different place where records of the shell companies were kept. Yeah, but it still hasn't burned down yet. I don't think that's the problem, right? Like it didn't burn down. So um all these random videos probably just using his names to get clicks. Yeah, exactly. Do you have any opinions on rapper Name Wee and what you think will happen to him? So I read a little bit about Name Wee. For those of you who don't know, he was involved in the the death of a Taiwanese influencer in Malaysia. So allegedly there was like drug use and possession of drugs, which I don't know if it's like a lot of people like to think that this case is probably to do with like CCP or something like that. I mean, the rapper has done some great songs to call out the CCP, but I don't know much about his personal life or what he does in his personal space. I just found some of the songs he did pretty funny. So, uh, Tony says, David Zhang, you're a real Chinese. Thank you very much, man. Yeah, those displays, like the body world stuff, they've been all over the world. It's not, but it's the source of where they get the plastination. Like, where did they source the bodies? That's the real question. Um, I'm doing a bad job explaining to the viewers what's going on. Yeah, well, I can't really just spend the entire live stream filling in. You have to go look up some of the videos we've done or some of the other videos out there to catch yourself up on the situation with Yu Menglong. I'm not Chinese. I don't watch Chinese dramas, but I started to follow the case after Yu Monglong's video spread. Since then, I haven't been able to move on. I just want justice and hope we never see more victims like this. Yeah, it's true. I think everyone black, and I think you're definitely hitting the right uh like message. I think that's what everybody really wants is to not have things like this happen again. So okay. Anyways, there were some other information which I think is good to share, which is that people assume that what happened to him on September 11th. Um, you guys want a synopsis of the case? Okay, well, basically on September 11th, the Chinese actor Yu Menglong or Alan Yu, he allegedly fell out of a building, fifth story of a building in Beijing. But in the hours after that, people started to search for answers as to how that happened, and it turns out he likely wasn't. He didn't get drunk and fall out of a building himself. He probably got killed or murdered for certain reasons, which part of it people believe is because he had known information about money laundering, but also another part because people found information suggesting that he was being targeted for his looks by individuals who are into him. And so a lot of stuff basically now at this point points to a huge organized criminal behavior within the Chinese entertainment industry to prey on these male actors. And Yu Monglong was basically tip of the iceberg for a much darker, much more sinister uh, ecosystem, right, surrounding Chinese actors. And basically, uh, the whole thing is the whole thing. It's like every day we try to update on new things, but every day we kind of have to deal with a lot of issues with regards to what's true, what's not. And I think that's really the emphasis here, which is, a lot of things we love to get to the bottom of it, but it's not going to happen because half of it is just simply not true. Whatever, it's your channel. I'm just saying that it's not viewer friendly. It shouldn't be too hard to give a 30-second synopsis when half of the stream has been filler. Well, no, because I think if you've been following this, you should be up to date on it. I can't just spend every stream repeating the same thing, right? Um, I just want to say every time you upload, I never get a recommendation. That's very strange. The story is very complex, yeah. Well, that the issue is we don't know where, like, we don't really know how things are with the USB sticks at this point. We know that it's possible that it's in possession of one of the people that was involved in this. Um, but again, it's like nothing is concrete, right? Because you can't really see, any visual evidence from China at all. We can just assume that things are like you know we can just assume based on circumstantial evidence that things are happening based on what we know. Okay, but so anyways, going back to the main topic, I was saying that so people thought that what happened on September 11th was like sort of the end of it. But it turns out, as we learned, that Yumolon was likely the target of these violent abuses and behavioral uh you know things on a regular basis, that very likely the plan to end him that night had been in motion for a few months. So apparently what was happening was that some internet users has unearthed a post that circulated in July of this year, implying that an artist with 20 million followers is about to get into trouble. The timing of this post sends shivers down the spines of outsiders. Currently, the Yumalon incident is almost completely blocked on Weibo, and related keywords are difficult to search. However, a large number of fans continue to forward information through overseas social media, hoping that the incident can be reinvestigated. Uh, so again, it's like one of those circumstantial things where, they say that an artist with 20 million followers is about to get into trouble. Does that mean it was Yu Long? And who sent this kind of stuff, right? Well, based on what we know so far, the plan to off him was definitely not just, it didn't happen that night. Because the party, so what we know now is that the party had at least 17 people in it. But over the decade that Yu Monglong has been in contact with some of these people, he's likely been abused on multiple different, like in different places on multiple occasions, but also likely while he was filming some of the TV dramas. And one of the things which I think it kind of makes sense if you look at any of his photos, like full body shots. Um, oops. Like, dude is very skinny. He's a skinny dude, and he often, like in some of the live streams he'll say that he hasn't eaten all day, that kind of thing, and then makes you wonder if he even, if he's being starved or not. Like, he's a very skinny guy. He's tall, but he's also very skinny. Now, obviously, the counter argument to this is that, oh, maybe he's a celebrity, he wants to watch what he eats, all that good stuff, right? Being in shape. But if you're constantly saying that you haven't eaten all day, and then you find out that people have been, or we find out that people have been abusing him, it could be that he wasn't allowed to eat. So it's possible. I'm not saying that that's exactly what happened. He had like a diet of 2 tomatoes, took all the steps to weaken this guy. Yeah, probably. You physically abuse him, mentally abuse him. You get him in a place in life where he doesn't know, he's trapped essentially. What sounds suspicious most is the fact that same acting agency managers have had multiple actors die with them. No, yeah, no, that's definitely true. Once a person starts to make real crazy claims like his father wasn't his father, have to question what else they're saying. Yeah. But the point is you have a lot of these things where, like videos like this, again, I just want to draw or this letter here. This video and then the letter, which I just want to draw attention to, is the fact that this is very much counterproductive. Because if you really think about whether it's Yu Monlong or other people in China, the point is that this is not just a case that happens to him. It's in the industry, and so eventually, when you search more about this case, you realize that this is not just a singular incident. It's going to continue to happen because it's just in the system that this thing happens in. It's a system that breeds this type of behavior because when you have power, you have people backing you to do this kind of thing. Well, there's no reason not to do them, or I guess you would say that you feel safer to do them. So it's going to continue to happen, which leads me to my sort of conclusion on this whole thing, which is that, look, you know, at the end of the day, the real criminals are the CCP officials. Um, yes, the people that are doing this, like the guy that owned the Rolexes or the house that he had Yumanlong in, or the people that abused him, they're the ones who actually did what happened to him. But the people that allows this to happen is the system, and the officials that create the system. So my point is, when you have stories like this where they make up, look, I've got the photo to prove to you that this is real. I am somebody who knows what's going on. And then in the actual content of the letter, they only mention three people, right? Song Yiren, which we know, yes, she's probably involved. Ji Guangguang, the guy, it happened at his house, or Zhao Anqi, who basically is like still also involved in this. But that's it. Um, there's there's plenty of other peoples out there who is not being named. So we just you can't trust anything. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. But this doesn't mean that you should give up, and you should still continue to talk about the case. I saw a source about Tianyu media director statement which insisted that he fell from death on accident. The creator believed that too. Well, okay, let's be honest here. Uh, there's possible like there's always the possibility that he accidentally fell, but there was zero signs from Yu Monglong, publicly or privately, that showed that he was depressed or that he was facing anything. Okay, now hear me out, because now we know that he's faced abuse for so long, right? He could have, done a lot of different things to himself before that, and possibly ending his life way before that. Why did he choose that night? That's the part that doesn't make sense to me. Um, if he had faced torture from the very beginning, or if he had faced all these other things, what exactly happened that night that made him want to do this? So either way, that story of him, accidentally falling, it doesn't make sense. Even if he was intentionally trying to end his own life, it wouldn't be an accident. So what led to that? So either way, this whole idea of it being an accident, it doesn't stand. Either it's an intentional him wanting to end it all, or it's somebody else who did it. I think the accidental thing does not make sense at all. Why is celebrity abuse so common in Chinese film industry? It's because it's a Communist Party sanctioned behavior. Like the people that run the entertainment industry, at the very top of that industry is a CCP official or in charge of entertainment and propaganda. So when you have an industry, like imagine if Hollywood was run by the State Department or run by the uh like the ministry, not the ministry, the Secretary of Interior, right? It's kind of like that. Xi Jinping is also superstitious. Yes. Yeah, like why was he in that apartment if it's not his? So this whole thing just speaks to the idea that it's like constantly testing our understandings of logic. I'm not saying I'm 100% correct. I'm just saying I'm pointing out a lot of things that I think it's just very weird. Uh, I saw another source claiming that he was being beaten while in Eteria, and it sounds credible. Yeah, I also hear that he was being starved, like he was mistreated even during filming for like different TV shows. Did the police give the mom allegedly contrafeited ashes? Dude, nobody even knows if the how the mom is doing. That's the big issue. We still don't know. Like, I thought we had gotten somewhere with this post, by the way. This post here, claiming that the mom is doing okay. But it seems like we're back to step 1, or back to 0, because we don't have evidence suggesting that the mom is safe. They have access to all his things. A picture can be gotten. Fan was not mentioned, and it could be him posting as a friend. Yeah, dude, a lot of things could be happening. Right? You're right. Like, a lot of the details here is that his family's safe, but yet they only mentioned 3 people. Yeah, possibly they might have blackjailed his family. 2 conflicting articles. When Yu died, a statement was put out by his mom that he died, but she said he did die. Uh, you mean, like, so the statement you're talking about, it came out in the very first week. That statement, I don't think it was written by his mom at all. If his death was an accident, why citizens are not allowed to talk about it? Exactly. If you're joining, we're talking about the case with Yu Menglong. Now, let me go back to this and talk about. So this was the original photo that reported, the first person to ever report on September 11th the death of Yu Menglong. And again, like, in my very first video about it, it was that this person had gotten the news about a few hours before the official police announcement, or the official announcement to from Yu's talent agency. So how did this person get this information about Yu's passing hours before the officials did? The official people close to Yu. And then later on, this guy got censored, and he deleted this post, actually. That always kind of, like, bothered me. Somebody was like, had the conscience to tell him to deliver the news to him first before the official streams. So that alone tells me that something odd is already going on. Yeah, he was telling a joke that he can't invite them for food because he has no money in reality shows. Dude, the crazy thing is, like, apparently you spent some of the money he had gotten on charity work, and then it turns out, like, can you imagine a poor celebrity, which is pretty insane? They might not make, millions, but they could still have a decent income, especially for someone who has been in the industry for 10 years or more. Hey, welcome. Thanks for catching us live. The point is, who is that person? Are you talking about Yu Menglong or the person who did it? Um, Also want to ask, we know Yu was mixed Uyghur. Out of curiosity, was he practicing Muslim? Might have been another reason they targeted him. I don't think he was a practicing Muslim. I don't know if he's actually half Uyghur, because there's still a 50% population in Xinjiang that's like Han Chinese. I might be wrong on that though. I don't know if he's actually a a he was a Buddhist. Is that right? You're curious about the motives of these criminals. Were they acting voluntarily, or were they also threatened by those at the top of power? Why are they so evil? So some of these are literally driven by the fact that they wanted to, like they were engaged in graping him. Like, they just wanted you because he was handsome. these guys, and then the girl, the Song Yiren lady, she's also a celebrity, but she was a rumor to have this almost like a Ghislaine Maxwell type of like an Epstein log basically in her computer. Again, this is like you cannot prove this at all. I'm just telling you like these are rumors, right? Uh, the rumor is that this girl named Song Yiren, I'll show you her picture. This woman is rumored to be like the Epstein or the Ghislaine Maxwell of China. Like, can you imagine this? Like, this girl, she looks nothing over 25, maybe, or 20, 23, 24. Maybe 25. I don't know. But anyways, this is allegedly the Ghislaine Maxwell of China. No, it would be the Epstein of China, right? That's crazy to me. This girl here. No, I don't think he's I don't think he's Uyghur at all. Why being a Muslim would make him a target? Well, because they're taking the organs of Muslims in Xinjiang, putting people in concentration camps. Dude, as okay, this might offend you, but all of those Uyghur celebrities in China that are famous, like De La Riba or Guli Gulijana, Gunaja, Gulijana, those two girls, like as long as you try to make it into the industry, like you have to ignore all of the things that's happening back home in Xinjiang in order for you to do that, right? Which is kind of sad. You just came and people being called Epstein. No, it's because this girl is a it's she's allegedly grooming dudes to sell their bodies in China. And the crazy thing is all of these people have pretty much stayed quiet since they've been involved in this stuff. Yeah, and entertainment in general is just messed up, but the fact that you have a whole political system on top of it to control it, it makes you do a lot of things that normally you wouldn't know that you could. Any positive news on use case? Unfortunately, no, because that's just the state of things right now. But we the point is today talking about Yumono, I basically just wanted to, tell you guys how things are with regards to um his like his current state of things. So we're gonna move on to the next part, which is some stuff about the new aircraft carriers that's just launched in China today. And I think it's a good meme point for this. Anyways, but first, did you guys see this video? This was the Chinese astronauts up in the space station, and then they managed to get barbecue going on there, barbecue chicken wings. So everybody thought, wow, what a propaganda win for the CCP. You get to fry chicken wings and steak on the Chinese space station. Song Yan is related to CCP officials, I think, because she, but just honestly, based on her looks, she's not a like a the best, the prettiest looking Chinese actress. So to get her a position, you need to have some bad luck. Yeah, so it turns out, as I learned, that apparently they're stuck because space debris got hit, or sorry, the space station got hit by space debris. So Winston Sturzel, the the host of the, or co-host of the China show, and Serpent ZA, he made a AI image of the space debris that took down those astronauts space station, rendering them stuck in space. This is what happened to them. You know, you don't toss your trash anywhere. But I think right now there's a huge thing with yeah, whether or not the space station is real. I don't frankly I don't think this is fake, because unless they made a whole deliberate scheme talking about faking this whole being stuck in space too, I really don't think this is fake. I hope it's not fake, because that's honestly the worst thing. Like, imagine if people found out. I know in the past what they've done is they've used the swimming pool to film some of their spacewalks, but that, like, those are obviously fake. But this time I don't think it's fake, but I still think it's hilarious. Just obviously I hope that they get freed, right? Like, remember those astronauts that got stuck, uh and I think SpaceX send up a rocket to bring them back home. Like, I hope that there's people to bring these astronauts back home. Like, truly, I hope they're safe. But I just still find it hilarious that one day they're eating sizzling hot barbecue wings and steak. The next day they're stuck on the space station. Hope I do a show with Sea Milk and Winston. Yeah, I hope so too. Those guys are awesome. Yeah, I love chatting with those guys. I think you love China and want to see it all that it can be. Sometimes by exposing stuff, it helps towards change of source. Yeah, I do. I do think I can play a role in that. Uh, I believe China can literally do anything. They're very capable. That's for sure. Yeah. Well, Chinese people are pretty smart. That's another thing I find it interesting, is because the CCP always claims the credit for growing the Chinese economy or doing whatever. But in reality, it's actually my understanding that the Chinese people are the ones who actually got it done, not the government. You know, if anything, the government is hindering them. Because, like, imagine, you know, you have a bunch of people who just came out of the Second World War, and then they get stuck with Mao Zedong, who tells them that socialism is awesome, and then they're basically poor for like 20 years until the 80s. Actually, more than 20 years, from 1949 to 1979, which is 30 years. Yeah. So for 30 years, there are like the policies of the regime stopped and hindered the growth of the Chinese people. It wasn't until the 1980s when they were like, okay, we're going to abandon socialism and involve ourselves with the capitalists. And then that's when the Chinese economy grew. It's like, oh, wow, I wonder what the problem was. Was it really the Chinese people, or was it the bad government and leadership that they had? Okay, so but that's not the main point I want to talk about this today. The main point I want to talk about today is our opening shot, which was Xi Jinping looking at beautiful desserts. This is from the video that just came out of the third aircraft carrier to be commissioned. Okay, so this is the Fujian Fujian Type 3 aircraft carrier, the first to feature the electromagnetic pulse for aircraft launch. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because I noticed something pretty interesting. Now, so Xi Jinping went to Hainan, which is the island province in southern China, to launch this commission the aircraft carrier, basically, right? So here you see you got a bunch of people clapping, whatnot, and she's showing up. He's doing the tour, and look at this. It's a pretty big. It's a massive number of troops. You know, you got the aircraft carrier, you got the stage, right? For the context, what this aircraft carrier means to Xi Jinping personally, it's literally the equivalent to his own legacy as the CCP leader. The reason is it's called Fujian, right? Fujian aircraft carrier. The reason it's called Fujian is because Fujian is the province closest to, I will show you, Fujian province. So Fujian is the province closest to Taiwan. In that sense, Fujian is the most important province for the invasion of Taiwan, and that's why one of the reasons why the aircraft carrier is called Fujian. but also because Xi Jinping was essentially he made his political career uh, in the province of Fujian. So there's a double meaning to his legacy here. And also because Fujian is the key to, I guess you would say, to compete against the United States uh, naval superiority or naval projection of power, which is through the carrier strike groups, right? So the Chinese answer to that is the Fujian aircraft carrier. So there's 3 levels to of significance to the Fujian carrier, which is that it's Xi Jinping's own legacy, his political legacy, his military legacy, but also it's the actual like military technology to compete against the United States. Provided obviously there's a lot of issues with electromagnetic catapults right now, and like even the U.S. is moving back to steam. But so here's the interesting thing, right? So see how like okay, whatever, like dude is celebrating, he gets handed a flag. He always just looks like some guy who's tired of things, right? He legit looks like he doesn't want to be there. Like he always just looks like he's like whatever, dude. Like it's waste of time. He gets handed a flag, everything goes well. Notice who's missing from here. So normally the guy that is supposed to be here is the vice chair of the Central Military Commission, Zhang Youxia. The reason is Zhang Youxia is there's 2 vice chairs, right? One is responsible for the political stuff. The other one is responsible for the military stuff. Zhang Youxia is responsible for the military stuff. So he should have been here, but he's missing. You probably won't ever see them in the same event ever again. But that's just one of the points that's interesting. But dude looks like he's just tired of showing up to things. He's like always like, why am I here? What am I doing? The carrier aircraft is aircraft carrier is the ship. Yes. Okay. So that's this one, right? And then later he goes and he tours the aircraft carrier. He gets a demonstration of how the aircraft launch works. He meets all these people in different vests. That's pretty standard stuff, right? This is nothing new. And then he points at things. Xi Jinping loves to point at things. He signs a bunch of stuff. And then they demonstrate how the launch system works. So you have the little dugout thing that opens up, and then he presses a button. Obviously, there's no aircraft attached to the system because what if it messes up? But that's the electromagnetic catapult. And then you see the chow hall. You get all the food, all the desserts. Very lovely. Very nice. And bunk beds and all these things. Okay, so this is the newest video, right? This is from November 5th. The strange thing is that he did this on the 5th of November, which is 2 days ago. But the news about this didn't get released until 2 days later, which is already a weird thing because this is, again, the legacy of Xi Jinping, the most important military weaponry or military system for the Chinese military. And yet it does not get reported on the first day, like immediately after this happened. Yet it's delayed for 2 days. It's already out of the ordinary. But then if you compare it to the last aircraft launch, which Xi Jinping also presided over, this was back in 2019. Okay, so this is the Shandong, right? The second aircraft, the first domestic-made aircraft carrier that was commissioned in and launched in 2019. Okay, so in this one, I'll show you a faux shot. The scale and the ceremony was already much bigger than the first one. They had way more people here. Hold up. Let me see. Oh, yeah. So they have way more people here. They had different people. They got the workers. They got the people in suits. They got the sailors. They have everybody here. And they got the like, look how many people there are. Look at the shot, right? This is like a huge deal because it was the first domestically made aircraft carrier. You got so many more people compared to this year. Let me see. Oh yeah, I want to get a faux shot of this. Okay, this is the number of people that showed up this year. Okay, not just one squad, right? Just one squad. Okay, that's it. This is the shot from the last time, which is 2019. Way more people already. Like it just looks like a huge thing, right? It's a huge ceremony. And also Zhang Youxia was here the last time they accompanied Xi Jinping. He's talking to all these people. He's signing photos. Oh, look at this scene. Huge number of officials, workers, sailors, soldiers waiting for him to arrive, right? In this one, he didn't even do that. Like there was no major tour, nothing of that sort. He didn't shake anybody's hand. There was like no grand reception. He just left. So that's already really strange because this is the boat that's tied to his legacy. The last one, it's basically it's already been in the works. He's got like a huge reception. They got all these people here, right? Everybody was like, "Wow, look, it's Chairman Xi." People be loving him. Was there a crack on the deck? It could be possible that it's AI generated. Okay, now compare that to 2012 when the first Chinese aircraft carrier was launched in a major celebration, right? This one was they essentially took a Ukrainian battle cruiser and used like the body of it to like remade it into an aircraft carrier. It's called the Liaoning. So you got the chairman coming, you got like all the seats and desks set up. The premier is here. You have the vice chairs of the military. You look at the size of this crowd, man. Look, like that's a huge number of people. That's a huge crowd. Okay, that's 2012. They got the flag raising, they got all the workers, they got everybody, right? Like that whole thing is a grand ceremony. That's how it's supposed to be for them. So both of the Central Military Commission vice chairs are there. He goes up to the ship, inspects the troops, like meets everybody. Like so, this is a big thing. And then they do once again, they do that major meet and greet. Right? There's all the officials. They got all the sailors, all the soldiers there, generals, and everybody. As the CCP chairman, you meet all these people and you take photos and stuff. And then this time, so Xi Jinping did that in 2019, and then this time he just left. Like, dude just left the freaking ceremony. So if anything, to me, it felt like this was just like he's being a sideline. It's like it felt like he doesn't even want to be there because he knows that this isn't important anymore. One of the reasons I could think of why it's because, well, they don't want to upplay or to dramatize his legacy anymore. I still believe that she has lost the power of the military, so they don't want this type of thing to be tied to his legacy. So, like, this is actually really strange because if Xi Jinping was fully in power, if anything, this time the celebration should be the biggest of it all, because this is literally the next step in the competition against the United States. It's like he knows his era is coming to an end. Yeah, I think so. Maybe they're on a Zoom call. So the fact that Zhang Youxia doesn't show up, I think, speaks volume because Zhang Youxia is supposed to be the one who is supposed to host this stuff, right? Maybe his health isn't the best. He cannot do long events. Even if he cannot do long events, he should still have the scale of the event be as grand as possible, right? Because if you compare this shot here, which is, this one formation, and where's all the other people, right? It's like, don't tell me that because it's on an island they can't find people. Like, that's not how the CCP works. They're all about the image, right? And then even compared to himself in, I want to get a full shot if I can. Yeah. Okay. Even compared to this one here, this is the one back in 2019. It's a bigger crowd compared to this. Like, this is pretty small, right? Back then, it was a huge crowd. It's in the same harbor that they did this. So how come he suddenly wanted less people to be there? That doesn't make sense. Right? You have way more people than this. So I don't know. What do you guys think? He's gained decreased respect. I don't think, the thing is, it's even if he lost respect, I think he would still have a at least a superficial, ceremonial type of way, right? But it just looks like right now they don't even want to entertain exposure for him. Yeah, dude. Okay, so competing against the United States, whether that's effective or not, that's a whole other conversation. But right now, the point is that it's this is his legacy, right? And if you know anything about these weird dictators, legacy seems to be the only thing that they care about, which actually is one of the reasons why he wants to invade Taiwan, anyways, because he wants to be bigger than Mao, or bigger than all the previous CCP leaders. Yeah. Okay. So it might just be that this time it's the crew. The rest are in the South China Sea. uh, on the contrary, if he's ill, they should still show him in full power and control. He should not have shown any weakness. I don't think he's, well, I don't think he's healthy in the sense that he has no problems, but I think he's not ill to the point where he's sick, as like he's bedridden sick, right? That's what I don't think is happening. They transplanted used organ to Shi. I don't know if there's any ways to prove that. Not saying it couldn't happen, but by the way, how interested are you guys in a cooking live stream? Because I made some bomb steak and mashed potato yesterday. I don't. Okay, invading Taiwan. I think that plan is coming to a halt for now. How does someone like she actually lose power? So the way it would happen is that he's internally stripped of power, and we wouldn't know it. So one of the ways we can see it is if his position is being downplayed, as he has been now. Cook Tibetan food? I don't know how to cook Tibetan food, dude. This is not rotten milk. What are you talking about? This is green tea. This is mango green tea. It has a lot of sugar now, but I should stop drinking this. Isn't every stream you cooking China? Dude, that's sick, man. Nice one. Was the news about Yumon Loan's organs given to outsiders eaten, and also his body plastinated by the Japanese doctor using the latest plastination technique? Yeah, I don't think that's true. Uh, what? I thought it was 11. Anyways, I'm gonna be doing an interview with Mario Nawful. Is that how you say his last name on X? So be lookout for that. check that out because I think I'll be asked a lot of questions regarding the current situation in China. So if you want a more full understanding, maybe you can hear it there. I don't want to drink supplements on screen because I just tend to do it in the morning. It sounds like rumor. We'll see. Let's see if it happens. Let's see what the legend eats. Very nice. I heard he got some. Oh, sorry. One thing I forgot to mention. Oh, by the way, totally forgot about this. This guy, Fang Hongwei. It was just rumored 2 days ago that he had been investigated for corruption. He has officially been confirmed that he's under investigation. So the secretary of the Xi'an Municipal Party Committee is under investigation. He is Xi Jinping's former schoolmate, classmate, I believe. He's also from the same hometown as Xi Jinping. So these two are very close. Him being under investigation, again, it's to me at least, is a sign that Xi has lost control. Because all of his loyal people are being investigated for corruption. And again, people that say, well, look, this could be that Xi doesn't trust him. But again, like these people have known Xi Jinping for decades. If Xi doesn't trust him, he wouldn't have been promoted in this first place. So the fact that you promote somebody for so long, you got them into certain positions. This guy was ready to join the party standing committee in the 21st Party Congress, so within 2 years or so. Suddenly being investigated doesn't, to me at least, doesn't seem like a good sign for Xi's power. But that's, again, if you believe that Xi has lost control, this might be something that you would agree with. But if you don't believe it, then this might not seem like, it might just be an excuse that Xi Jinping has become Stalin. You know, Ellen says, like your video and watch them a lot. Never seen you live before. How are you? I'm good. Thank you very much for asking. How are you doing? Fung about to get Thanos. Yeah, he's already been Thanos, man. This doesn't mean they both have fifth grade education. You're absolutely correct. No, I think this guy. I think he met him in his like when she got an honorary degree from Tsinghua University. Have you seen the video where the girl is asking Yu Malone to run and try to help him? I explained it today. I think that video is fake, man. But why make big men scream like that? So painful. Rumors that China organ harvesting do without anesthesia. Yeah, some of them don't use anesthesia. Does it mean that Xi Jinping would be infected by this investigation then? I mean, they're related. Possibly. Yo, David, I always wondered, do you live in the US? I was worried about your safety sometimes. I do. No, I don't think the former agro minister is sentenced to death related to these political situations. Ted says, "Hey David, been following for a while and like your content. Just curious, did you study politics or were a journalist? You seem super informed on Chinese politics." I just got very interested. I'm very into the I feel like you read a lot of stuff and then you start to kind of get a good sense of what's going on. And also because I was born in China, so I know some of the stuff is very true, and I have good sources of people to talk to about certain things. But honestly, like half of the stuff that you read about the CCP, it's really not hard to understand. It's just it might seem like I know what I'm talking about. It's because I can read Chinese, and once you can read Chinese, you understand a lot of the wordings, the context, and the hidden sort of reasonings behind those words, and then you start to kind of form a way to analyze things. I proudly wear some of your shirts in public. Thank you very much, Cyanic Spectre. Thank you very much. I guess whoever controls the military pretty much is the strongest figure. It's basically whoever controls the military actually controls the CCP. And what they don't want to have is people that are, let's say, if people are seeing that, let's say Xi Jinping right now has three titles, right? He's the chairman, he's the CCP general secretary, and he's also the president of the PRC. On the surface, most people would think that, look, Xi Jinping is in control, but he's not the first person who have been stripped of power, excuse me, but remain in control. A great example is this guy. So this is Hua Guofeng. He was the same. He was in the same position as Xi Jinping before Deng Xiaoping came into power. So Hua Guofeng was the chairman of the Communist Party, and then he was also the chairman of the military of the CCP, so the PLA. And then within 2 years' time, he was stripped of his power. He was rendered a figurehead by Deng Xiaoping, and nobody had known about this for 2.5 years, basically, until the one day that he says, "I'm resigning from my party positions and retiring," essentially. That's when people found out, oh, look, dang, this guy has lost power for 2 years and we didn't even know about it. But once he did, then people are like, dang, like this guy, we thought he was in control, but he's not anymore. So I think she's in the similar position in the sense that like they're keeping him on as the figurehead, right? But he's no longer in control. Because if you really look at the recent changes in the actions and the wordings of the Chinese government, like they've given up on this wolf warrior diplomacy, right? They're no longer as aggressive. They're reducing their buying of Russian oil. They're continuing with some of the Trump tariffs, the soybean buying, stopping the rare earth minerals, and then they're also at the same time telling Pete Hegseth, the U.S. Secretary of War, that China and the U.S. can work together to maintain peace in the region. So by all measures, whether we like it or not, the CCP is in a mode of survival. And this is very unlike Xi Jinping, because Xi Jinping, his whole thing is about aggression, right? Aggressive to Taiwanese, aggressive to the Philippines, aggressive to the West, allying with Russia, allying with Iran, North Korea, etc. Right? And now they've gone a 180, and they've gone back on some of those policies, and that's one of the, I think, major indicator to me that something has changed within the CCP. Can you tell me how China sees India in terms of business perspective? I think China wants to compete because India is also in the market to become the factory for the world. Do you have family back in China? I do. They all have the same hairstyle in the past, man. Yeah, it's all like the hairbrush backwards. Like I don't know how they do this. They all kind of look like Mao. I'm interested in a live stream or a video about the Uyghurs or Hui Muslim oppression. I the thing with the reason why I don't do that as often is because, for one, I'm not very versed in the, like, I know the general what's happening, but I'm not the best expert on that. So that's why I'm kind of reluctant to do it. They stole his hair. First time joining. Hey, Karen, thanks for joining us. If it's reduced wolf warrior diplomacy, does that make it pup warrior diplomacy? You're absolutely right. Makes it a chihuahua diplomacy. No, like I hope that made sense. Why it seems like sure, I was wrong. I predicted that she would step down in the fourth plenum. I was wrong. He didn't actually step down, but I'm gonna try to sound like I'm not crazy, but what I'm hearing is that he did step down, but just within the party. not like to the public, because you know, I guess it makes sense, because if he does step down and he makes it public, you know, it's going to be sending shockwaves across the world. Coyote Warrior. That's a good one too. It's interesting that you're able to read some nuances or hints or of possible changes within CCP. Would an outsider be able to see such things though, or do you have to be living in China to understand? I think you just need to know the Chinese language a little bit and then know kind of the baselines of the nature. What's your take on the Chinese yuan becoming more popular as a legal trading currency? Well, it's not popular because it's only happening within a few countries, and those countries, because to be honest with you, when they're trading with China, buying it with yuan is a much cheaper way to do so than buying with the USD, because some of these countries also want to reserve a certain amount of the US dollar in, because in certain times it's okay, so we know that gold, obviously buying gold is like the best thing to do, right? Because gold value is increasing. It's, you know, people think that we might one day go back to the gold standard for all whatever reasons. But for many countries, especially third world countries, having US dollars in their reserve is the same as having gold. So in some senses, like other currencies, like if you're trading with China and if you're using yuan, like yuan at the end of the day, it's worthless outside of a few countries within the sphere of, say, the BRICS, or within Africa, or you know, like Central Asia. So I think buying things with yuan is simply, it's almost like poker chips, right? You know, you within the with on the poker table, within the transaction of this game, using chips, it's okay. But chips eventually have to be converted to the US dollars, um, to be used outside of the poker table, right? Outside of the casino. I hope that makes sense. Hi, David. Your content is extremely informational and helps so many people who aren't in the loop about the CCP scandals. Thank you for what you do. Thank you very much, Crisp. Much appreciated for watching. If he did step down within the party, how long would it take until someone comes in to take his position publicly? What would the party entertain him saving face to the public? Oh, sorry. Why would the party entertain him saving face to the public? So, Hush, this is the most important question anybody could ask right now. You're absolutely on the dot for this. Okay, so when somebody steps down, how long would it take for him to get replaced? The issue right now is that Xi Jinping has caused so much problems within the CCP that he has alienated the world from China, that the fundamental interest of the CCP officials have been harmed in the process. Domestically, he's also done terrible with the economy. Nobody dares to take over from him. Because imagine, okay, so let's say you work for a Fortune 500 company. Let's just use the example of, say, Facebook, okay? So suddenly, let's imagine hypothetically that Mark Zuckerberg randomly decided to screw the company over. The board votes to kick him out, and then, you know, the company's in shambles. You know, people are not using Facebook, people are not using Instagram or WhatsApp anymore. You, as the next guy, the CEO, comes in. What are you supposed to do? How do you repair the damage? Imagine if those damage are so fundamental that it's like irreparable. Then that's basically the situation of China right now. So nobody really can come in and take on those problems because they're so deep and fundamental, like the birthing rate issues, um, the overall view of China, the lack of trust for the Chinese investments. So all of these issues are fundamental issues. They're not going to be solved by switching a leader. You know, the second part of your question is also important. Why would the party entertain him saving face to the public? Because one of the issue is that the CCP is all about unity, right? It's all about stability. If anything happens, within the party and it's known to the public, it becomes a huge issue of their legitimacy because the CCP is built on the idea that everything they do is perfect, everything they do is divinely arranged, everything they do is within the mandate of the Chinese people. So imagine if you built this guy up, Xi Jinping, over the last decade or more to be the perfect leader. And then suddenly they're like, oh, oops, we kicked this guy out because he was having problems. That alone discredits the entire party and their narrative of a perfect, unified China so much that they simply cannot afford to have that. Let's just put it that way. As much as dumb as it sounds, that's pretty much one of the main reasons. Another reason is actually the U.S. So the CCP views the United States as 80% of their foreign policy efforts. If they cannot handle the U.S. properly, it is a survival, existential crisis to the CCP. So again, because Trump was supposed to meet with Xi, or supposedly they were supposed to meet, it was still undecided until a few days before that. But at that point, if Xi was announced to be stepping down, then who exactly is Trump going to talk to? And if you can't, at those turbulent times, get the U.S. to calm down or be like, what's going on here? Am I going to sanction you or am I going to not sanction you? So somebody had to talk to Trump. And, apparently Trump is Xi's best friend. And that's why I think they're keeping him, because it just doesn't make sense for people to be discredited within China, the party that is, at the time being. Antonio, thanks for 1,000 jewels. I don't know what that does, but again, thank you very much. Thanks, Vaz. Better to have him get sick or self-appoint someone else if they really need a new figure. Exactly. I think that might be better. Or if he just steps down in the 21st Party Congress, which is in 2 years. Sorry, I'm not reading Twitch chat. What's happening on Twitch chat? Do you think there's good people working in the CCP, or do you believe they're all evil? Okay, frankly, to be honest with you, I think there's like one or two people. And for reasons I can't tell you right now, but I simply think they're stuck in a position where they're waiting for timing, I think. We'll see. I'm not gonna claim here to be some hidden guy who knows a lot, but from what I'm hearing, there's like at least one or two people who are doing good. They might become they might become the reasons why things are changing, but again, I'm just like, the reality isn't spelling it out to be that way yet. Divine crap, I'm late. I'm doing a video on this myself to help spread the word. This case is horribly upsetting. You're definitely right. Do you go live most days? I try to go live now 4 to 5 times a week, just in the mornings. By the way, I'm still gonna do all the regular videos and stuff. I'll show you guys. Oh, oops. I'll show you guys what's happening. So this is just my stream corner right now, but I have like a studio set up. Wait, did you guys even see that? Yeah, like I have a studio set up over there, or it's being set up so that I said you probably cannot be a leading member without being completely ruthless. I think that's true. Wait, I don't know if you guys heard me, but I said that I'm probably gonna. So once I finish the studio setup, we're gonna invite some friends over to do some podcast interviews, all those good things, and the regular stuff as well. Hmm. I sh- Audio should be good now. Man grabbed us so hard we became deaf. Yeah, apparently, so the whole Yu Menglong death became like a gateway for many people to start caring about the evil of the Chinese regime. So, I hope China becomes the next version of the Huago phone thing. They will slowly wean out Xi Jinping and go from there. Okay, but yeah, so we're probably gonna go do more podcasts, do more regular videos, film them, and do interviews and all those good things coming. But yeah, so we'll end the stream here. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Maybe we'll see you guys tomorrow. Maybe we'll see you guys on Sunday. Who knows? But I'll probably start streaming regularly at this hour, so around 11 a.m. Tonio, thanks again for 30 for sending a flower. Oh, sorry. So you sent a corgi and a flower. Thank you very much. No update on Yu's body right now. Slenderina, you can. I have a email address in the on the channel. If you just go to the about information section, and then you can see it there. Uh, Nicoda, thanks for sending a corgi. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And if you guys want to support the channel, we have a membership. You can become the China Insider Insiders for $2.99, and you get a special Winnie the Pooh logo next to your name when we do live streams. And we're gonna do more stuff with members in the upcoming uh, days and months, where we can do things like we can play video games together, we can do members only streams, we can do live chats, we can do all those cool things. So if you guys are into it, let me know your thoughts in the comments, or just leave it on the channel somewhere. It'd be cool to talk to you guys. I don't know if you guys are interested in live chatting with me, or doing like, it's very popular in China actually. They would have like is it called Periscope? Is that the app that they used to do this on? It's like you invite somebody over, or one of those. No, it's not called Periscope. It's called. It's like a chat thing. Chat rooms. I don't know what it's called. Omegle? Is that what it is? You remember Chairman visit my house when I was a kid? We're from the same village. Dakota, thanks for sending a thumbs up. 2 thumbs ups and 100. Yeah. It's like a Omegle type of thing. Well, we're not gonna do that today. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Much appreciated. Bye bye.